What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm actually not going to use these headphones right away, but hope you guys are doing well out there. It is, of course, the legal mindset we teach you to be your own judge. And I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney who's currently in Tokyo, Japan. Thus, the very simple background of the clearly Japanese door. It's actually a mirror right there. Lighting is not perfect, but hey, listen, it's been a while. It's been a minute. So, you know, I'm going to come to you no matter where I am in the world and whatever my setup is, no matter how questionable it is. But it's good to see you guys here in the chat, whether you're over on Rumble, whether you're on Locals, wherever else you are. I appreciate you here. Appreciate you joining me. And appreciate you guys sticking with me wherever I'm at in the world. It really means a lot to me. And really quickly, let me say what's up to everybody in the chat, particularly the members here: Patrick, Danielle, Julio, Smopo, Vienna. Good to see you, and as well as the people over there on Rumble. 100 Star Chili, loving the lines. Good to see you. Danielle's over there as well. I am not doing a locals today because I only have one screen. I know I'm poverty today, and typically I would have 2, 3, or 4 screens. I'm a little tired. It is 2 a.m. But I would usually have 2 screens, but because I've only got one, I can't have all these different tabs and windows open. So we're going to keep it to, for now, YouTube and Rumble. I'll layer in locals, also locals exclusive lives for my locals members. So just understand, Papa hasn't forgotten you, locals. I love you. Sleazy said, the memes will just go as comments instead of chat. It's fine. That's totally fine. What's up, Sharon Drury? And we've already got the first member chat of the night, which is Citizen Republic, which says, for a member of 2 months, hail the Ricada-verse. Oh, God. Now, I will say this. I'm gonna preemptive strike this like it is, like it's shocking on. It's Desert Storm. Let me preemptive strike this, guys. Tonight, I am going to focus on the Disney issues. So we're going to talk about some of the flack against Disney. We're going to talk about this, allegedly based Snow White. We'll talk about that. We're going to get into a little bit of the pushback against DeSantis that goes kind of hand in hand with the Disney narrative. So we'll talk about that. And maybe some of the other, Fed shenanigans that are going on, some of the Capitol stuff, but I'm not going to get into the Ricada-verse stuff tonight. However, I do think there are some interesting legal questions. There's been some updates in this kind of, Nick is adjacent to it, but really in the, Ripa versus Dick saga and some legal issues that are going on right now that I think might be worth mentioning, but that'll be on a separate stream if I do it at all, which isn't even planned out. So that may be a whole separate stream. So just putting a pin in that, that'll be a separate stream. And if I do, it'll be clearly marked. You guys will know, right? If I decide to do that. Which is something I may do. I'm not ruling it out. Just not ruling it out right now. So yeah, let me make sure I've got it over here. I see you guys. Silver Smurfer over on Rumble says, for the record, Brett can get it. Okay, you guys can give me. You know what? I'll do the poll. I know what you guys want. You guys are simple people because you're my people. So I'll just put the poll. We all know what the poll is, right? So it's up now. You guys can vote in it on YouTube. You know what the answer is. You know what the poll is. It's a pretty simple poll. Let's see. Good to see you guys piling in. Naaman's the ReTuber. Julio, good to see you as well. You guys know what's up. All right. So let's start out with first of all, before we jump into it, let's start out with some of the Disney FUD. This is some Disney media. In fact, this is something that Disney media threw up fairly recently. So I wanted to share this with you guys because I want to get your reaction. I want to know what you guys think about this. So this is a news article that came out recently, and rather it's a clip here. And you guys should be able to see this right on the screen here. I think the audio is shared. Yes, the audio is shared as well. So let me go ahead and play this video. This is an attack piece against DeSantis by Disney Media. So this is Disney Media that is attacking DeSantis. Now, I just want to go through this because this is obviously related to the Disney court cases I've been covering forever and some of the more tired points against DeSantis. But I want to rehash them, particularly as we warm up here today. A lot of these themes and ideas and other concepts are going to come back. So let's play this. Okay, so they, by the way, they start out with a something that they act like it's a fact. This is just a statement without any actual empirical evidence. So saying it's a huge effect on Florida's economy, no, actually not at all. And if anything, the effect has been on Disney because they've gone woke and therefore they're going broke. It's having an effect on Disney. Now, that being said, Disney, of course, has an effect on Florida, right? So obviously you can't divorce Disney from Florida. You can't separate those two things out. Disney World is in Florida. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. It's not going to move. It's not going to another state. But saying that it's DeSantis's fault and saying it's DeSantis versus Disney, this is really misleading. And mind you, words are used, particularly in the modern era, in a very specific way. Note how they frame this. DeSantis versus Disney. DeSantis did not sue Disney. In fact, the only way that DeSantis got brought in was by Disney suing DeSantis and bringing him in. It's really Disney versus the CFTOD board members and DeSantis, amongst other people, right? Which is going to shortly be dismissed. So this article, or rather this post, it talks about the possibility of dismissing this lawsuit and how this is going to be Disney being bigger and Disney moving on. I've told you guys this. They're preparing for them to take a loss in court, so they're trying to AstroTurf it over. The fact that this came out today and it's rehashing a lot of these old points, which are not correct, is ridiculous. Also, like Gus Van Vorst said in the chat, I feel Florida is doing just fine. Florida's doing fine. Florida does not need the modicum of extra revenue that they might have added from, here as we see, 2,000 extra jobs in the Disney campus. So let me play this for a second and I'll pause it, right? Okay, so the reason why, so it's earlier this month when Disney announced a plan to move 2,000 cast member jobs to Florida would not move forward. It was an obvious financial blow to the state. Not really, because those people did not want to be Floridians. Those people did not want to live in Florida. They did not want to stay to Florida. They did not want to move to Florida. So those people didn't want to come here in the first place. They wanted to stay in California. They also didn't want to take wage cuts. They also don't want to adjust their cost of living. They don't want to move to a different state. They want to stay in woke California. So a lot of these cast members didn't want to move in the first place. And also, mind you, that it is not an obvious financial blow. Actually, it's a financial gain for the state. I've actually proven that the state was going to pay most of the taxes for this project. Actually, the state was going to pay more than Disney for this project. State grants, state funds, state tax relief was going to pay the majority of this project. So the state of Florida is actually benefiting because they're not subsidizing a woke company to bring 2,000 employees, if at all, to the state of Florida, right? They weren't really bound to that number. They weren't bound to bring 2,000. They're just bound to build that campus there, no matter how many people they put on it, no matter whether they stay there part-time, full-time, whatever. They were just going to build there and get credit for building there, for building this kind of small little building in Lake Nona, which is a growing development. Now, that land is highly desirable. We'll talk about that. But it did not crush Florida, would not crush Florida. And frankly, people in Central Florida are probably happy because they don't need more people. They can grow more slowly. It is perfectly fine for Florida to grow more slowly. As anybody in Orlando or Miami can tell you, rent has gone crazy. People are not happy about rent going up. So yeah, there's a lot of factors in here that go on this. So not an obvious net financial blow. Okay, now it looks like Disney's decision in its ongoing battle with Florida and Ron DeSantis is causing repercussions, as it means a lot of economic activity won't happen. Well, it's Disney's decision. That is true. So I give them 1 point in honesty for saying it's Disney's decision, but actually Disney may drop its case and may likely drop its case. But I don't think the case itself has the type of economic activity and the economic repercussions that they think. These guys don't know about the taxes and the revenue that Florida will be making in the future that they weren't making in the past, about cleaning up the books, getting rid of the corruption. That's something they don't talk about here, right? That's going to be a huge win for Florida. Winning this case is going to win back a bunch of revenue for Florida. Like I've said, over decades, it will be trillions of dollars. Mark my words, trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars over decades, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. So this is a big win for Florida. It's a huge win for Florida in getting that revenue back and ending the Disney corruption. Also, smash the like button, guys, if you're liking this. If you're liking this Tokyo mindset. So they don't know what they're doing to land. Okay, this is bad news for Lake Lona, which was expecting a boom in both residential and commercial projects in response to the move. This is complete bullshit. So I actually represented the majority. I represented all of the commercial and residential developers in this area. This is complete bullshit. This is 100% a lie. So this person who's putting this out not only knows nothing about development in that area, but knows nothing about what the economics of the area is or anything else. That area was booming before and after Disney will be there. It doesn't need Disney to boom. Lake Nona was booming, period. Tavistock put so much into that area as a whole, and there's other developers that have put projects all around this that are absolutely not, but they're not based on whether Disney is coming there or not. Those homes, the residential homes, will be filled. There are people that want to go. They were selling out like hotcakes. We had residential developments that I was assisting on that were pre-sold, completely pre-sold. All the homes were all bought out. People were booked in them, absolutely flying off the shelves. It's not like they're lacking for people that want to buy houses, particularly affordable housing, nice quality affordable housing in Central Florida. So there's lots of people that are going to come in there and buy those houses. So this to me is complete bullshit. Lake Nona will be fine. The development will be fine. That little piece of it is just a blip. There is a giant hospital there. The University of Florida moved stuff out there. The VA is out there. There's tons of huge employers out there. They do not need Disney at all whatsoever. I'll read these super chats real quick. Ted Park says, I bet those people didn't want to live in a trailer. Well, the concept they have is that if you move to Florida, you're going to live in a trailer or you'll be shot, which is ridiculous. Brick Cormier for 20 says, of course they can move. Not really. They just have to find the cash to buy a ton of land and rebuild everything. I mean, it would cost way more than buying Hulu, which is going to cost more than they have on hand. Yeah. If they can barely buy Hulu, right? If they can barely buy Hulu, how are they going to move? How are they going to relocate? No. Why they're doing bad is because they suck and they're not producing good content and they're getting extremely woke. That's why they suck, right? That's why they suck. Let me continue this here. So this is BS. This point is BS here. Okay, this is interesting. First of all, the Wall Street Journal doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Second of all, Disney announced the move at a time when that area was being built out. So a lot of these new homes were already being built out. So what they don't know is the developers, many of which I worked with back when I was in the United States years ago, they plan 6-10 years out. Did you guys see? We covered the district meeting where they were talking about the bonds for the transit center. Remember, they were talking about the year 2030 and 2031, 2029, 2030. That's literally 7-8 years in the future. So this had nothing to do. The developers are planning way further out than, waiting for Disney and, because Disney's going to build it in 1 or 2 years, we're going to be ready. No, not at all. They look at the area as a whole. They look at the market as a whole, not just the Disney campus. They're giving Disney way more credit than they deserve here. Um, people on, I love it on Rumble. Selwyn says Tokyo Mindset sounds like a channel name. It could be. It could be. If I was here more often, Tokyo Mindset would definitely be a thing. And by the way, I will be here very often. I'm in an Airbnb right now. It's a little late. I'm trying not to yell because I know there's people around. But really like it, really enjoy it, and yeah, I'm having fun. Having fun. So let's continue with this. Okay, this is a lie. The potential residents, there are people moving to Florida and South Florida, Central Florida all the time. And I love how they pretend like these are the only jobs that are quote unquote higher income. There are plenty of engineering jobs, construction jobs, all sorts of jobs that pay a lot of money and they may even pay more than the Disney jobs. In fact, Disney is renowned for not paying high wages, for in fact paying near slave wages because people want to work at Disney. They just want Disney on their resume. So this higher income myth, this was built, I know this was created by some Californian or New Yorker that has this idea that everybody in Florida gets paid peanuts. That's not true. Just because we don't have taxes that take away half of our income doesn't mean that we're not making money. Floridians are in fact making quite a lot of money, especially in skilled labor. That's not true at all. The commercial interests that are around, see, that's a wild speculation. Notice how they all speculate, speculate, speculate. So back here, what does it say? It's like it's possible that other commercial endeavors. Where's the specificity here? Where's the specificity? None, none. There's none because nobody has announced they're pulling out. They would be insane. That is a booming area. It's a growing area as a whole. Nobody else is pulling out. Only Disney's doing it. Why? Because Disney needs money for Hulu. Disney needs money for Hulu. Disney is broke. They're pulling out because they're broke. And that was an easy way to capture back about $500,000 or, whatever, or $500 million, whatever they're going to put in that project, to recapture that money and allocate it towards purchasing Hulu because they need money for Hulu and they're looking under the couch. Right. So that's the real issue. What's going on? Yeah. SpaceX expanding operations in Florida. You think those jobs pay peanuts? SpaceX? No, of course not. Of course not. Yeah, so this is old news. We already know that they're suing. Of course, they're going to lose here, which once again, the mainstream media is still not talking about it. I have been talking about this for months. They're still not talking about it. Just wait for a month, 2 months, 3 months from now when they completely change their tune. And they're like, oh my God, Disney was wrong all along. Who's been saying it? Who's been saying it this entire time consistently? I mean, this is once again Disney's fault because Disney is the one that has been damaging their corporate brand. They know what they have to do to change things. They know what they have to do to improve, but they don't want to do it. They're not willing to do it. So anyways, that's that little piece of propaganda I wanted to start up with, kind of a refresher in the Disney versus DeSantis stuff. So I just wanted to get into that real quick because it is absolutely still lies. Even after I've been covering this for months, they're still lying about it. And the truth is coming out. And also the proper verdict will be out soon enough. So it's something that I'm looking forward to seeing the downfall. And I'm also looking forward to the I told you so. I'm really looking forward to that. All right. They do need a good kick in the ass. And what's up, Don Bach? Good you're in here at 2x speed. Catch up, brother. Nikki, what's going on? Late night radio voice. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it at the cool Tokyo vibes with Andrew Esquire, the legal mindset. So let's pop over and let's get into what I want to talk about. So here's what we're going to talk about. Our main topic for today is this Daily Wire, quote unquote, based question mark Snow White. So you've got Boring here. You've got Jeremy Boring here. Now, before we get into Mr. Boring and what's going on here, let me just explain. And what's up, Smoke Jaguar? Good to see you, brother. Now, obviously, and I'm going to look at the poll here because obviously the poll here, you guys have voted 77% of you. When I said Brett Cooper, smash or pass, 77% say smash, 23% said pass. You guys are a bunch of simps. So I'm going to call you out. You're 77% simps. Okay. No, I'm joking. Smash for sure. But that being said, um, Rachel Zegler, obviously people hate her. I mean, people are printing money on the internet, just putting her face in everything. I'm not the Zegler face. That thing is on every single thumbnail, even things that aren't related to Snow White. People will stretch around, they'll reach around the block to get Rachel Zegler in something because people hate this woman. People hate her. She is despised. She is hated. And this is a bad thing. For Disney, it's a bad thing for their intellectual property because she's truly reviled. I mean, in a way, honestly, I think about Brie Larson. In fact, I'm actually going to put another poll here because we finished the Brett Cooper one, but I want to get this one. This one's actually very vital. It's more important than the other one. Okay, so more hateable, right? I want to know, is it Brie Larson or Rachel Zegler? Because I'm really curious what you guys think. And in Rumble, guys, just put it in the chat. I'll pay attention to you guys on Rumble. Senpai will notice you on Rumble. But I really want to know. So I think one of the things is this reaction was them noticing, hey, people hate Rachel Zegler. Let's put out an alternative. Let's put out something nice, right? Let's put out something different. And so they said, hey, we're going to put out our own version. We're going to put out a conservative version. Now there's a lot of ways this can go. I'm going to let Jeremy Boring talk and then the trailer play. We may get a strike because I don't know, maybe Daily Wire. Frankly, I've made fun of Big Conservative. I've made fun of like Big Tradcon and all those guys a lot. So they may strike me. They may try to claim me because typically the conservatives are just as big copyright cucks as everybody else. So before that, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys smash the like button or hit the pussy, the former pussy, now known as just, well, the like button over there on Rumble, because that's going to really help us in the algorithm, even when we get taken down or struck or whatever else, because these guys don't like me playing their trailer. Rachel, no contest on how easy she is to hate. Yeah, so I think on Rumble, they're voting for Rachel as the more hated one. 79% here on YouTube say Rachel's more hated. 22%-ish say Brie. So a vast majority of you do not like Rachel Zegler. So there you go. Rachel Zegler has passed Brie Larson, in hate ability, right? That's a task. I'm not going to lie. That's actually impressive. It's actually really impressive. So let's just play this and let's look at the view of the Daily Wire's Snow White, particularly in contrast to what we know is going to be the Snow White of Disney, which is Snow White and the 7 Seattle hippies, because they've gotten rid of dwarves. Now they're just a bunch of weird guys in hippie clothes. So let's talk about that. Let's play this real quick and we'll get into this.
In addition to announcing the launch of our kids' entertainment company, I also want to announce today that company's first live-action feature film. It's a story about a princess and a prince, about beauty and vanity.
I'm just going to let this play.
Its power to raise us from death to life. It's our own adaptation of an ancient fairy tale. It's coming in 2024, and it's called
I guess I should pause it here because maybe I'll like interrupt the music a little bit with talking and like it counts as commentary. Oh, by the way, what's up, Anna? Good to see you in the chat. Why did you not apply for this role, Anna? You clearly are fucking up with your life. What's going on? Anyways, let me continue with this here real quick. Slovenia, I love it. In time, a prince would come. You're probably gonna get a strike for this. Who knows? I'll fight it, guys. I'll fight it for you. And his boobs were too large, probably. Gonna be honest. So Gonna be honest, did not at first recognize that as Brett Cooper. I thought it was just random white girl number 22. Um, because she's got like her different style for her shows, right? The face, yeah, doesn't look great. But that being said, um, it's clearly intended as an alternative to the Rachel Zegler film, right? And it's coming out with similar timing to the Rachel Zegler film. So they're going to put it up against that film. And a lot of folks you have to compare it one to the other, right? Because they're going to be back to back. Now, a lot of people have said, hey, it looks good. Anna says it looks like Twilight. Look, that comparison is flattering to say it's like Twilight, right? Because obviously Twilight was loved. It was something that made a lot of money. And we've seen to be positive about it. Now, let me stand the positive side real quick. So Rachel Zegler's woke, Disney's woke. They got rid of the dwarves right now. This one does not have dwarves. It's the evil queen, right? So it's based more off of the traditional Grimm's fairy tale, which cannot be copyright attacked because it's in the public domain. The Grimm's stories have been in the public domain forever. Now, Disney specifics, things that Disney variants on or does differently in the Grimm's tales, those aren't, but it's open season on anything that's in the old school fairy tales that have been out for the ages. So that's something that's clearly open for them, and they've got the ability to make the story without, social justice or women's empowerment, which, by the way, Rachel Zegler has straight up said that she's going to make this movie, the Disney movie, about empowerment. That's part of it, right? That's part of what she's clearly said, like unambiguously said. Okay, I want to get a little poll here too. I know I've been doing a lot of polls. I'm going to stop working polls here in a second. But so did the Daily Wire trailer look good? I just want to know if you think it looked good. Just quick yes or no. Did the Daily Wire trailer look good? I want to know what you guys think. Did that look okay? Right? People on Rumble are saying she's the girl next door more than the Fairer than the Mall. That's kind of funny because I watched the movie Girl Next Door about the porn star. I think I don't really imagine Brett as the porn star type i.e. Girl Next Door. But that being said, I know what you guys are going for, right? It's like the obtainable girl, right? Because that's what all the guys want. You all want it. Everybody's asking for the obtainable girl, not the unobtainable girl, right? Or the person that's kind of like the celebrity that is out there, the girl that you could imagine you get with. But by the way, she's not going to get with you because she's got money, right? So Daily Wire says based as Jeb. I love that. Peanut Fiends, you get a point for that. You get a point for that. So far, people, 80% of you say it looked good, right? It looked good. Okay, it's time for me to bring out the con here. It's time for me to bring out the con. But before I do that, Leprechaun Gold drop $20. Thank you so much for the Shiba with the statue. Shiba is very, very pertinent since I'm in Japan. Shiba's works out. Much works out. I do hope to fix the lighting a little bit next time. Maybe I'm going to stream during the day when there's some ambient light coming in at an angle to kill my shadow. But I do appreciate you guys sticking with me, even when I'm traveling or wherever I am in the world. Okay. So I want to point your attention to one of the comments here. And this is a comment from Andy Signore, which I thought is the representative of the cons, right? So here's our con, right? So our con is the Daily Wire Snow White movie looks as dumb as the Rachel Zegler version. Anyone who says otherwise based on this cheap looking 4K TV screensaver is merely proving their political bias. What a dumb investment. So this is Andy's point. It's this counterpoint. I'll call it the counterpoint, right? Now, look, I watched this thing and my thought is, look, I didn't see anything objectionable. And because I haven't seen anything objectionable, I can't hate it yet. I really can't love it either. I can't say it's going to be great and amazing and based. It's a teaser. It's a couple seconds. I can't say whether it's going to be good or bad. I couldn't tell you otherwise. I'd have to actually see it. Not that, by the way, as a 37-year-old man, I am really looking forward to going out and critiquing Snow White, which frankly makes me question Andy's sexuality. But that being said, um, it's not my particular purpose to go out here and kind of rank Snow Whites, but Disney having a clear political message, a clear political agenda, that's bad. And this just having none, yeah, that wins. I'm sorry. But if you just make a milquetoast average film that doesn't have a political message, it wins nowadays. It's not that hard. So I can't really stand Andy's argument. I wonder if any of you guys agree with that. I see Roos says the teaser looks cheesy. Yeah, maybe it is cheesy, right? Maybe, but cheesy is better than politically charged. I saw nothing politically charged in this. I just saw nothing politically charged in this at all whatsoever. Let's see. Ann Ivy said Daily Wire is making a clear distinction for people to show their preference, read traditional versus SJW. Yeah, and if they get a green flag on this, this is perhaps the best thing for them to do, because this movie is going to be such, because Disney screwed it up so bad that it just opens it wide for somebody to just kick the easy field goal. And this is what we've been saying the entire time. Just make a normal movie. And if they can make a normal movie, it doesn't even have to be good, just a normal movie that's not crazy woke, not crazy political, they'll make money. They'll make money. Excuse me. Sorry. Andy would prefer to consume Disney and Rachel. I think so. It sounded that way, Don, like he would actually prefer the Disney version, right? Or that they were on par. And once again, saying they're on par and equal, that's not right. Now, saying it's amazing, it's going to be the perfect whatever, maybe that's a little too far, right? We just don't have enough information on it. Don't have enough information. They should do this for every woke movie. Yeah, just make a average movie. No, and guys, I get Andy's married with kids. I get it. Okay. I know. I'm just busting his balls here a little bit. Okay. It's what we do here on Legal Mindset, right? We bust people's chops. Brick Cormier says last few Snow White adaptations, Snow White and the Huntsman and the one with Zegler, the queens were much better looking than Snow White. Gal Gadot and Charlize Theron are better looking than the Snow White actresses. And this is a key point. Snow White is supposed to be hotter than the evil queen. If she's ugly, doesn't work. Gal Gadot, under no circumstances, would be jealous of, like, Gal Gadot is still, I'll give her a rating. We'll do this. This is a Legal Mindset. We do base things on this channel. I'll give Gal Gadot at least a 7. Some people, she might even be an 8. But let's give her a 7. Let's give her like an overall 7. Okay. I think it's fair. I think you guys can agree. She's at least a 7. Rachel Zegler is like a 4. Okay. Rachel Zegler is like at best, right? And if you give her a 5, then Gal Gadot's an 8, right? Maybe even a 9. But Gal Gadot is like so way harder. Actually, 7's wrong. Gal Gadot's an 8 or a 9. I'm sorry. That was really low. I'm critical. Smoke Jaguar says solid 9. I'm even willing to give you 9. But Rachel Zegler is bad, is real bad, right? Not even close. Half the score. So if Gal Gadot's an 8, Rachel Zegler's a 4, right? Maybe she gets a 4.5 if Gal Gadot's a 9. But like, it's not even close. I immediately went for 8. Yeah, sorry. Okay, the 7. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. Elisa says she's a 9. Gal Gadot's an 8. I see 8 or 9 in the chat. People, okay, sorry. 7 was too low. I'm being critical, guys. I'm sorry. I'm in Japan. I'm seeing a lot of hotties right now. So, my numbers are skewed here, guys. It goes down because, I'm like, okay, well, so this, and this, but yeah, no. 8, I think 8 is very fair. 8 is very fair. Yeah, with how long you've been in Asia, your standards are yeah, because it's overall, right? But I get it. Okay, I get it. For Hollywood, Rachel's a 0 because she's a pendeja. I love that. I love it. Oh man. Okay. Meredith G says the Daily Wire needs to execute good product with his Bent Key Studio. I haven't seen enough of the programs to have an opinion. Yeah, and that's Meredith. You're where I'm at. But the thing is, none of us are where Andy Signori is at. And like this comment to me, and like, I listen, I'll still go on Andy's show, I'll still talk to him, whatever, but this is pretty ignorant, right? And it does flag a lot of leftists, kind of sentiments here, to kind of put them on the same by not getting the point, right? Not getting the point of why people are rejecting it. It's not because of the quality, right? You can make a shitty movie. You can make it on a green screen. It's not about the quality of the movie. It's about allowing you to escape into the movie. If it does that, even with 1990s technology, it's okay, right? I love how people are bad mouthing a 4K quality, right? Oh, look at this. It's 4K quality, right? Dude, I watch 80s movies, 70s movies, 60s movies, 50s movies, 40s movies. Those are amazing movies. I don't give a shit about their graphics. I don't give a shit. Oh, it's not the fanciest thing right now. Oh, no. Oh, fucking no. Right? They're still good movies, right? Even if they're not up to date graphics, it's a good movie. So to me, that doesn't rule it out. Hey, Nina, how's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Actually, you know what? I will, Nina, if you're around, I will actually invite you for a second. I normally was not going to invite anybody, but because you're my girl, and because we love you a long time, you can get an invite to the exclusive Tokyo Mindset. But that being said, I think that this can make money. All it's got to do is make the basic story of Snow White. Queen, ugly as shit, jealous of her, or at least mid. The queen can be mid, right? If Snow White is an 8, the queen can be a 5. So like Brett Cooper, I'll give Brett Cooper a 6. She's very obtainable. She's the obtainable girl, right? 6.5 maybe, right? Then the queen can be a 5 at best. Like the queen can't pass Snow White dramatically. She also can't be very close to Snow White. You got to say objectively, Snow White is more attractive than the queen. That's part of the story. It's an integral part of the story. Let's see. Hey, listen, man. I see Smoke Jaguar saying you're out of shape, dude. You can get it back in. Look, right now, I actually was talking to my buddy. He's like, "Hey, man, you're looking a little fat." And I'm like, dude, I've been eating a lot of delivery because I've been working. And I realized that, I've been back in Japan. I'm in Japan now. In Japan and Korea, people walk a lot. I have not been walking as much, been taking a lot more motorbikes, getting on the metro, doing other stuff. So I haven't been walking as much in Thailand. And it gets the weight, and it takes friends to call you out and be like, yo, get your shit together. And I appreciate that. Which is why I call out my friends, which is why I keep my friends accountable as well. But you can do it, man. You can get back. So what I will say right now is this: go to the gym, fatty. Hey, fatty, go lift. Go to the gym, fatty. I love you guys. Appreciate you. It's no excuse, Andrew. Get to the gym. Yeah. No, I need to get to the gym more often. Not going enough. Too many. Yeah, all those Asian waifus feeding you too well. That's part of it. I'll tell you that. So let me read some from Rumble over here. Make sure I've caught up here. Selwyn over there in Rumble says the queen has to be mid at least because without Snow White, she's supposed to be the fairest of them all. Yeah. So if Snow White isn't around, so she's the fairest, but that. Okay. Star Wars girl went for the jugular. Uh-oh. I'll invite Anna, but I totally don't invite Anna because she's kind of trouble. Like I avoid inviting Anna, but because it's Anna, and because you asked me, Nina, because you asked me, I'm doing it for you, Nina, not for Anna directly, just for you. Just know that. As Racket said, stop being fat. Yes, just stop being fat. So actually, you know what's funny, guys? I'm still in better shape than Nick. All right, I'm just gonna put that out there. Noodle Arms Ricada. I'll take Noodle Arms Ricada any day, like any day of the week. If we want to do this like Logan Paul style with LawTube, I definitely got Ricada. If we're doing like boxing or MMA, I got Kurt. But if we do sumo, Kurt might beat me. Okay, he might beat me in sumo. Let's see. I've probably got Nate the lawyer. Joe's kind of short, but Joe is really fit though. Joe might go bear Jew on me. I don't know. And who else we got? Oh, Andrea Burkhart. That would be a tough one. I think Andrea Burkhart might beat me. For sure. Now Tragos. I think Tragos. I lose to Tragos. I'm pretty sure I can lose to Tragos. But we'll see. I'd be willing to do the law tube, like the law tube throwdown, right? The law tube like tournament arc. That would be really cool. That would be very cool. That's like the law tube anime gets a tournament arc. Actually, it's got to be a thing that happens. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Jeff. Oh, Jeff would be the MC. Jeff would not participate. Jeff would opt out. No, lawn lumber. Yeah, that's no comment. Actually, I'll just say no comment. Okay, that's the polite thing to do because I'm a polite gentleman. Oh God, this is so true. So Nina said, Michelle on Toxic Femme says Brett Cooper looks like Ben Shapiro, and I can't unsee it. It's kind of true. Oh, Runkle. I think Runkle's a pacifist. Andrew would knock you the fuck out. Well, Andrew trains, so I think that, yeah, I think that's going to be a thing. So yeah, that's why I said I'm losing to Andrea. Yeah, Jeff would just put me on a boat and sink it. So and then he could cover it on Maritime Monday. Lawn lumber would hit you with a 2x4. What do I get to like release like smallpox on them, or what, release like coronavirus because I'm like a new version because I'm in Asia? I mean, if we're all using our native abilities here. Oh God, that's hilarious. Can I handle Nina and Star Wars Girl? That is a 3-way that I can definitely handle. I have 3-wayed way crazier than Nina and Anna. I can handle those two girls. Russell Hall says, "What's troublesome about Anna? Is her IBS?" Yes, it's definitely her IBS. Okay, so we got those comments real quick. So we got the comments on from Andy Signor and what's going on there. Now, what I really think is going to be the key here is this a movie that turns out like Nefarious or like Sound of Freedom? Because if this goes Nefarious or Sound of Freedom, I think it's going to be absolutely great. Now, look, the one thing I'm hoping they don't do, and I'm praying they don't do this. And listen, guys, you guys know I grew up in church. I've watched so many Christian movies. I watched Veggie Tales and all that stuff. I hope they don't do the thing they did in Nefarious with the Glenn Beck interview at the end. They didn't need that to be like clear, like, so it was Jesus, right? Or like it was like to add that. They could say, and also adding Glenn Beck specifically in with the interview at the end of Nefarious really wasn't necessary. They could clip that out. That would make it a better movie. But even if they put the whole Glenn Beck interview thing, right? They do something where Glenn Beck is interviewing Snow White at the end. I don't know. They might do something weird like that, right? Even if they did that, it would still be a better movie than the woke Snow White version, right? Because you can just hit pause or stop and just leave it there, right? That's what I do with Nefarious. I actually stop the movie before it comes to the interview. I just stop it, right? It's just done there. Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge is a very religious movie without throwing it in your face. It's about conviction, perjury, or convictions. Somebody asked in the chat, by the way, any idea when the Florida courts will make the decision? I can't say specifically like tomorrow, right? But I think within the next 60 days, we're going to have a major closure, whether it's the federal or state case, within 60 days for sure. So I'm thinking by the end of November, before the end of November. That's my call. But, could be wrong. Disney's been pulling a lot of procedural shit to slow it down. They've been pulling out all the tricks. So we'll see what happens with that. Disney really has been trying to pull out the procedural bullshit. And they're very good with that. They're very good with slowing things down. That's what they do. That's why they're good. Florida hearing is in December. But there's the ability to rule on motions can happen before that. But you're right. It may not. But there's also the federal motion to dismiss as well that's out there. So I think it could be look about the movies. I think they really could be good. And what's more important is we do need to start a trend of creating counterculture, of creating other things. And that's part of why, I'm not going to talk about it today, but it's part of why the whole Ripa blow up is a thing, is because, hey, look, people want counterculture and people want to support counterculture. That's why Comicsgate is a thing. People want to support people that are standing up to BS, standing up to cancellation, standing up to wokeism. So, there's a whole market behind that. There are people behind that. We've proven the concept. Now let's go out and let's support good stuff. Now, if this is not good, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to get out here and pretend it's not good. But am I excited that there's somebody that's doing it? Yeah, because guess what? If Daily Wire comes out and it is financially viable for them to produce this film, somebody else will come out and do a good job. So even if they just do an average job, it will financially incentivize someone else to come out there and do a better job. It will show they can do it. That's what's important. That's what's key here, is showing it can be done, proving the concept, saying, you know what? We can start making alternative movies. It can actually work, can actually fly. And we can, make money and do well. So I want to transition here, not hard, but the soft transition. I want a soft transition to some other fakery, some other BS, and it's kind of related to what was going on with DeSantis. So a lot of folks, and I want to make sure you guys are aware of this, because this is something that's going to come up when it comes to DeSantis. It's going to come to Trump. It's going to come to counterculture, and it's going to come up with Disney, because Disney has had people outside of Disney that are protesting, and they're pretending to be DeSantis supporters. I'm going to quote here, that are Yahtzees. Well, I want to post out here. These were, hold on, let me show you guys this here real quick. These were this is a picture, right, of some of these alleged, right? This is before getting a Patriot Front, right? But these alleged white supremacists, right? Right? At the DeSantis rally. Well, people have forgotten the days of these guys, right? From the Youngkin campaign, these guys who stood out of the Youngkin with the tiki torches. The best of which, the most classic of which, was this bro right here. This motherfucker right here, right? Like, you're telling me this guy is a white supremacist? Come on, man. Come on. Like, really? This your white supremacist right here? Yeah, this was from the Youngkin event, but they're trying to do this with DeSantis. This is at the DeSantis rally, right? This right there specifically, right? Of course, my stream will now be blocked in Germany. But that being said, there's a lot of glowy ops going on right now. I see you guys seeing it in the chat for sure. And they've started it again, and they've started it with Patriot Front. They're still trying to do it. And I wanted to share this because this was actually in Ohio, which is kind of like, once again, what are you guys doing? But they've got, let me show you guys here. So it is now 2023, and they're still trying to pull this. I'm just going to play this real quick. They're still wearing the khakis. They're still wearing the polo shirts, and they're all masked. Every single one of them. Every single one is uniformly masked with a mask that is exactly identical and matching. Exactly identical and matching. So what type of people, right? Especially with these glasses, which look, as Chief Fed here, right? As Chief Fed glass is Fed glass aficionado. I'm going to tell you right now, those are Fed glasses. That's 100%. As a person who's light, the name of my light is the glow box. I'm not even kidding. This light is called like the glow box, which is hilarious. So as somebody who's literally glowing right now because of my glow box, right? That is absolutely glowing brighter than the sun. You guys got to be careful about that, because these things are going to come up this Patriot Front stuff, this accusations of white supremacy, hate, nastiness, this stuff is going to come up in reaction to Disney losing the case. There's all of a sudden going to be some white supremacists that are celebrating at Disney. There's all of a sudden going to be, people showing up with DeSantis, Hitler Youth flags at Disney, as if those existed and as if DeSantis would ever condone those. Obviously, that's political suicide, even if you did agree that, which, by the way, the guy's obviously much more friendly with Israel, not to have those sort of inclinations. But that being said, though, all those motherfuckers are not real. All those motherfuckers are not real. Like Smopo said, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on, I got this right now. I'm gonna tell you right now that mofo is not real. None of those folks are real. Absolute BS. But just be aware of that. Make sure people know that. Make sure you're getting the narrative out there that they're still trying this. They're still going to try to bamboozle you and tell you, no, this is legitimate. These people are really happening and they're a threat and they're dangerous. Absolute BS. And Disney is participating in this. I know it for sure, because if these folks were actually intending to come to harm Disney, they would have them removed immediately. They would have them stripped off the property. But why is Disney allowing these white supremacists, these hateful folks, to be on their property, right? It's because they're complicit, right? Or perhaps they might be funding them. We don't know. We don't know that, but we'll see, and we're going to investigate in it. We're definitely going to investigate it. Appreciate the amber emoji and all the emoji in the chat. If you guys like the emojis, please drop the burning castle emoji. That one actually, it took me a little while longer for that. We're going to need to get more emojis. We're going to need to create more. But I like that you guys are using them. I do appreciate that you guys have been actively using the emojis. Burning castles there from Danielle. Appreciate you dropping the castles in the chat. I like having them made. I like commissioning stuff. I like commissioning work. So I think it looks good. Burning castle in the chat. Burning castle in the chat. Appreciate you, and appreciate all the good members here today. Steve C, Double B, Smopo Vienna, Orion Galaxy, Tank Rat. Thank you, and thank you for all the gifts you've given in the past. It's really helped us turn this chat green with members, and we will be doing many more member chats as well. Over here on Rumble. Appreciate you guys as well. Lake Wonder said if it's hiccuping, it might be Rumble or they stream from Tokyo. No, it's not my connection. Here, it doesn't seem like. I'm looking at the connection. It seems to be Rumble. So Rumble may be having some bumps, which is, it happens. Also on Rumble, Based Crypto Degen said Nefarious was an incredible movie. I loved it. I think the acting was great in that. The fact that guy won't get an Oscar because they, hate anything that's even sort of Christian. Yeah, that's a problem. But yeah, it's Rumble. Definitely Rumble had the problem. So thing was smooth sailing on the YouTube. Have fun storming the burning castle. Yeah, because the castle's on fire and they are trying desperately, guys. They are trying desperately. They're going to try white supremacism. They're going to try economic arguments. Disney is going to try to Disney's going to try to pave over this. But I'm not letting them get out of this. I've been on top of this from the beginning, and I'm going to stay on top of this till it ends. Guys, it is a little bit shorter tonight. This is my first stream coming back, my first stream here in Japan with new setup, new lighting, everything else. I am going to have other streams. I don't know whether I will have one in the evening. I may or may not have one. It is 2 a.m. right now. Maybe when I wake up, if I can wake up in like 8 hours, or something like that, I'll have a stream. Maybe. If not, I'll have one as soon as possible, either later tomorrow night or my time, which will be your tomorrow morning, same time as now, or in the evening. So just stay tuned. I'll be around and I will be here bringing it back. Bangkok Bros, by the way, somebody asked about Bangkok Bros. Bangkok Bros, we pre-recorded a bunch of episodes, which you guys have not seen before. So they're all brand new episodes for Bangkok Bros that you guys have not seen. So they're all pre-recorded, but they're all stuff you have not seen. So for Bangkok Bros, you got that. And I will be getting more up on my other channels as well. But I'm going to get some rest. Thank you guys for joining me. Smash the like button on your way out. Leave a comment if you liked it. Have a wonderful night, and I will catch you guys all later.